Hello, students. Very good afternoon, all of you. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. So students are joining in. Let them join in. We will start the class maybe in 1 minute. Let the students join in. So we have around 18 students at the moment. Today the count is a bit less, but I'm going to start the session because it is going to get anyways recorded, right? Okay. Lalindu, I think your webcam is on, Buta. All right. All right, students. So once again, welcome to the programming session. Today is our sixth session. You know, we have been doing Python programming in the previous classes. I think this is maybe the third day that we are starting to do Python. Okay, right. So last two sessions, we first started about variables. We learned about variables and why we use variables, how to define variables, how to store values, and how to print them, how to use them for calculations. Easy ones we learned. What variable names are valid, what variable names are not valid. All these things we discussed. I hope you have already practiced them as well. So the very first class was on variables. I think this was our variables demo that we did. This file I already passed with you. That means I have already given this file to you. Well, after finishing this one, last session, last Monday, we did a session on Python strings. When you consider about strings, strings are stored within single quotes or double quotations like this. They can have characters, numbers, symbols, spaces, anything that you want, you can store them. And usually you can use them for calculations, right? So excuse me, just I should take this call. 1 second, please. Right. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. So that's about the strings that we use, double quotes or single quotes. Within that, we can store characters, numbers, symbols, spaces, anything that we want, and we cannot use them for calculations. Well, after that, how to print them. Okay. Then we learned how to concatenate. Concatenate means joining them together. And we learned about this, right? Then there are methods where you can put a label, put a comma, then the variable, again a comma and a label. This is a normal way that we can use. This is one method of doing. And you can use the plus mark as well, like programming languages like Java, C++, and so on and so forth. We can use this method as well. In this way, if you are using, when you want to combine a string with a non-string value, which means age is actually a numeric value. You can see 25 is the number. And when you want to store non-numeric values, then you need to convert that into string. So we do a casting. So we convert numeric type to string type. So that was last session. We learned all these kind of things. Hope you have practiced them as well. Then after that, we use something called positional arguments, right? Positional arguments when we are using within the single quotes like this or double quotes, you use a pair of curly braces like this, curly braces, and within that you can give a name, right? So this variable name or the label name that you give need not to be the same variable name. You can give any name that you like. That's fine, no problem. And here I'm using my name and my age. These are two actually argument names I'm using. Then after the single quote or double quotes, you use the dot sign and you use the format function. And for each argument, you apply or you give a value, which means my name should get the variable names value. My age label should get the age variables value. So when you run that one, it'll perfectly display the details, right? I'm just doing a small recap of what happened last class, right? So rather than at once suddenly start in the class today. Then students, we learned something very quite often. We Python developers, we use something like this, um, F formatter. Okay, so using F strings when you use a F letter like this and single quotes. Simply wherever you want a variable's value to be displayed, you use open close curly braces like that, and simply give the name of the variable, and it will display the value instead of displaying something like curly brace name. So it will display John here. I think, yeah, John is the value we have there. That's we learned about that, right? So we learned after that string functions are there. I'm not going to take too long on this. String functions are there. A lot of string functions are there. Capitalizing, uppercase, lowercase, right? Then you can swap the cases. If it is capital, you can turn them into simple letters. If it is in simple letters, you can change them into capital letters. We tried these things. I hope most of you have practiced them. I don't know whether you practiced or not, but if you had practiced it, it's great, right? So because rather than just watching the program or rather than just watching the course, I strongly recommend that you practice along with me. Along with me means you can watch the videos and practice. Finding out how many characters are there, including spaces. There is a function called length. You can replace a particular part, which is the replace function is there. Then you can count a subscript, which means not subscript, string. You can check whether this piece is matching. If that piece is matching, how many times which is matching. That's what the count does. You can find out whether a character sequence is starting with something, right? That is possible. Then ends with something. That is also we are checking, right? Then you can split that into a list. Now today we are going to do the lists as well. Okay, so we do that. Splitting option is possible, and those were the things that we discussed session, right? Previous session. Okay, students, that was a quick recap on what we have done in the previous classes, especially the last class. What happened? I was just explaining you, right? So today's lesson, I'm going to start on lists, right? So I'm going to teach you something on lists. Okay, right. I'm taking you on a particular order. The lessons I'm taking you on a particular order. Well, if you go for this, now if you take the computer's memory, usually in the computer's memory, variables are getting created. I already explained you about this. To save the time, I'll just quickly roughly draw this one. Maybe I'll use blue color. when you define something like X is assigned the value 5 and maybe yes, name assign the value John, right? So you can have it like this. We can do like this, right? Okay. Now, when it comes to occasions, there are occasions where you can use some data structures. So I don't want to make the lesson too complicated for you because we are doing a very basic type of a programming course, programming lesson. So I want to keep things very simple and I want you to explain the concepts. When you take Python, we have different type of data structures. In any data, any programming language, there are some data structures available. You'd have heard something called arrays, right? Something like arrays. I don't want to talk about arrays now, right? I'm going to talk about something like in Python, we have lists, we have tuples, right? We have tuples, we have sets, and we have dictionaries. Okay, so these 4 types of data types are available. I am going to teach you today's lists, right? And I'm going to keep these 3 things in reserve. I won't be able to teach all these things because if I'm teaching tuples and sets and dictionary, each one require at least 1 hour for me to teach you. So in that depth, I won't be able to go in this particular course, right? So I will limit myself to list, but I will when I'm giving you the PDF document to you, I'll give you the entire PDF document. I will give you the entire PDF document, so you can check the documents along with that, and you can practice them as well. Okay, right now what I will do next is let me show you. No one have actually inside the computer's memory have seen these things, but for learning easiness, or in order to easily understand something, we keep something like this, right? So we take like that. Let's assume this is a variable, like it's a list of, or it's a group of variables, like, okay, this entire list because we're going to create the name as we're going to learn lists, so we call this one as a list itself. In a list you have items, right? Don't you? That's what you have, right? I'm going to create something like fruits. Let's say we're going to create a list of fruits, or we want to create a numbers. We want to create a list of numbers, right? We can do that, right? Okay. So I want to store the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can do that, right? So I can store values like this as well. So this kind of a data structure we can create. Now, please understand, this is the very beginning level. We are learning this one. Try to understand this one a little bit properly. So this will be very useful when you're learning more and more things in Python and in other programming languages as well. I'm trying to keep the things very simple and as simple as possible, right? Okay. Now, these things will have an index number as well. Usually the index numbers are starting from 0. It's the same theory like arrays, right? So I will explain you how to do these things. Just don't worry, okay? I'll show you how to do them, right? Okay. So it's like that. So this is the structure that it does. Okay. First of all, right? So what is a list, right? This is the notes I can tell you for the list. I will provide you a note set just like the last week notes, right? I will give you a note set for you. So if you take a look at the content here, right? What is a list? A list is a collection. Collection means, items, right? So it is a collection, right? So if you have a collection of stamps, if you have a collection of coins, if you have a collection of, let's say, whatever, right? Toys, right? So it's a collection means there are a lot of items. Okay. A list is a collection which is ordered and changeable. Ordered means it is kept in a particular order. So the computer keeps things in an order. For the time being, don't worry about this. Later we will discuss that if necessary. It keeps things in order. Then it says allows duplicate members, which means in this list, if you wish to store some value which is same as stored before, let's say here, you wish to store 2 again, this is permissible. So list data type will allow you to do this. So the second item is the value is 2. Fourth item is also 2. This is permissible because it's a list. So that is what it says, allows duplicate members. It says similar to an array in Java. So that is why I explained you the word array earlier, but I didn't want to go with that word array because in Python, we are using list, tuples, sets, and dictionary. So we will go with the words that are used in the Python programming language. Okay. Then it says array in PHP, Java, or JavaScript. Okay. So that's what the idea is. All right. Now, I hope you got the basics. Now we're going to go for the operating instructions, which means I'm going to teach you how you can create a list, how you can add an item, how you can work, how you can change, how you can print, so on and so forth. All right. So end of today's class, you will have a good understanding about lists. Okay, lists. All right. Okay, let me teach you that. So I'm going to create a new fresh file. Yeah, right. Okay, let's create a new file. I'm going to call this one as lists, or I would like to tell demo underscore demo, which is demo 6 underscore lists dot py, which is extension indicates it's a Python program, py. Okay, then let's open it. I'm not sure why less students are there today. Is Takshila ma'am or Pavitra ma'am, if you're there, please make sure that less students are there today. Let me put a comment to her and come quickly. Well, only, no, 31. Okay, I sent her the message. All right. Okay. Well, let's continue. I would like to add this one as a comment to the file because when I share this one with you, you get this one as a note as well. Okay, I can drop this into another one, right? Okay. So what is a list? So that information is also there, right? So the first thing I'm going to show you is create a list. Okay, right. Let's see how we can do that. Creating a list. Okay, right. So let's create two lists, actually, two lists. One is called numbers and another list called fruits. So we will work with both of them and we will see how we can do that, right? Okay, first of all, I'll create a list called numbers and you use the assignment operator and you have to use open close box brackets like this, open close box brackets like this, and you can start typing your values of the list, or you can start including the items of the list. So I will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I drew in my picture, the same list I just wanted to create. So that's what I did. Well, I can create one more. I can create one more, what do you call list. So this one, I'm going to call it as fruits. And this time I'm going to use, let's say we put some names of some fruits, right? So let's say apples, oranges, then we'll put some grapes, and some pears. Okay. Please remember, you can use double quotes as well. As a convention, I am using single quotes all the places. Don't use them mix, right? So most of the developers are using single quotations. So I like to use single quotes in my Python programs. If you wish to use double quotations, you can use it, no problem. Okay, right. So guys and girls, this is how you will be creating a list. Okay, so if you have doubts, you can talk to me if you didn't understand. So we have just created that. Okay, now we can see the values, right? So we can see the values of this one. What do you call? I like to show you what you have the list right now. For example, if I create a variable like marks and if I store the value 85, let's say you want to print and see, right? Normally we put a print command and we type, let's say my marks is I can put like this, right? So we are familiar with F strings. We learned about this one last class, right? Okay. So let's say I go to the terminal. The program is demo 6. So I will type Python demo 6, right? So that's, I type demo 6 underscore, then I press the tab key. Automatically it will take the file. Or if you don't like, you can erase this, right? Then you can press the enter key and it will run the program for you, right? So it displays my marks is 85. We already know about this, right? So I just don't want to do it again. I'll delete it. Okay. What I will do next is I will do Nice. No, Takshila ma'am has informed, she has dropped me a message. That's right. All these students have been informed about the class today, right? There's around 31 students only available today because I'm a bit worried because close to 100 students were there in the previous sessions. Suddenly it is dropping to 30 means I don't know why, because, okay, doesn't matter, right? Okay, if you didn't understand, just let me know what part you did not understand. I will try to explain it. Okay, right. Now what are we going to do? Right. Let's see what happens when you print a list. So we say print, we use the print and we put numbers. So here, remember, this is the name of the list and we'll see what is the output we're going to get. Right. When we run, closely observe here, right? When you run, it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can correctly see the symbols, open, close box brackets are there. As I mentioned, if you're using tuples, sets, and dictionary, for example, if when you're working with sets and all, we use these symbols to create them. Okay, right. So, and sometimes in dictionaries and all, we use these symbols to create them. So for that reason, make sure that you understand this one properly. And I strongly recommend that after my session, please practice. Okay. I would like to show you this one as well. Print, watch this, numbers, comma, you type numbers. When you give like this, okay, there's a question has come. I will explain that question. Give me 1 second. I'll finish this and come. Now, students, you can see line number 10. If you consider, we are printing the numbers, which means it will display the details, what you have in the list, as well as it prints what is the type of the list. So, or what is the data type, right? So I will comment this one. I just comment it, right? So line number 9 will not run. If I run, you will see. Now you can see this is the list contents have been displayed and type of this numbers. It is not variable. It is not object. It is not Boolean. It is list type. It is list type, right? Class list is coming. So that is how you create a list and you display that as well. I didn't delete this one. I will leave it for your reference. Okay, right? Okay. Students, anyway, I will share this file with you after the class, right? If you want, I can keep on commenting everything and going down like this. That will be easy for us to learn when we are doing the rest of the program. If you don't like that, let me know. I will keep them not commented, right? So you just let me know. There is a student have asked, Shuhada, I think she has asked me, sir, can we put a fruit in numbers list? What I'm asking is, can we put strings and integers in the same list. Yes, you can do like this. You're asking, uh, let's say, 25, right? So that it is, okay, we commented it. Let's try that. There is no error came. I think, Shuhada, you got the answer, right? It is allowing you to store multiple types of values inside a list, not like in Java arrays, which is only permitting only integer mean integer, right? In PHP also, you can do multiple types. Python also allowing you to store multiple data types. Okay, thank you very much for asking that question anyways, right? Very good. Right, good. I hope I cleared your doubt, Shuhada. If you got the doubt cleared, just put a thumbs up or just say okay, right? Right, we're going to go to the next part. Students, I think you can hear me well. Is my line is clear enough? And the way I'm speaking, is it clear enough? Not the voice. This speed and what I'm explaining, is it clear enough and the speed is okay? Please give me your feedback, okay? Right. So one or two, you can switch on your mic and speak, no problem. No response. Okay, let's continue. Next part I'm going to teach you, right? When you want to create a list, you can create something called using a constructor. Okay, this is another way of creating lists, right? Okay, I'm going to create a numbers2 list, right? So I'm going to say using a constructor, creating a list. Okay, let's see how to do that. Again, we give the name of the list. Let's say numbers2, because numbers, we already have defined one. I'm going to create numbers2 list. You know which one to use. Then you use the keyword list. You open parentheses, right? You open the parentheses, and again you use another set of parentheses. Then you have to pass in the values. So I'm passing the same values. This is another way that allows you to create lists using the constructor method. This is not very popular. These kind of methods available maybe because a different type of programmers are coming into Python. Sometimes this can be available in other programming languages like Java, JavaScript and all. So in order to entertain that kind of thing, that they have left it in Python as well. But when you are creating, this way is more recommended to do when you want to create a list. Name of the list, open box brackets, close box brackets, keep on typing your values. That's it. Okay, right. I will use this command and I'll show you what are the items available in list2 as well, right? List2, that is the name of the list2 is numbers2, right? Let's run that and see. Yeah, I'm clearing everything. I'm executing the program. Always observe the last line of the coding. This is the one. List2 is there. So if you like, I can store some different numbers, like let's say 50, 150, 250, 1,500, 7,500. So that's what I have now. Now if I run, you will see that list is getting displayed. That is numbers2 list. I hope I made that clear to you. Let's move on, right? Okay, so that's how you can create list using a constructor. Okay. Okay. So again, the note is there. This is more like in Java or JavaScript. So we don't need that one actually, right? Let's move on to the next part, right? I'm going to show you how you can get a single value from a list, right? I'm going to work with the numbers list, or I will work with the fruits list. This time we will work with the fruits list, okay, right? So let's say get a single value from the list. Okay, now we get the list like this. Now this is the numbers list. If I drew the fruits list, it would look something closer to this, and each element you will have apples. What did you have, right? Apples, oranges, grapes, etc., etc., right? So we're going to do it like this. In order to do that, what you do is you simply use the print command. Okay, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just printing and showing you. Later we can use if conditions and all, but we will slowly go there. Print, and we use the parentheses. You already know that. Name of the list. Okay, what is the name of the list? Second list is fruits. Let's say fruits. Then you have to use the box brackets, and simply you use the index number. There is an index number. Each element or each item of the list is having by default a specific number. We don't have to give, the computer assigns a number. So when you want to access it, you can simply tell the number, so it will get it, right? Okay. There are small variations from other languages like Java, JavaScript, and PHP that also I'll teach you after I demonstrate this. For example, if I give 1, you will get the output as oranges. Oranges, the reason for that is the indexes starts from 0. So apple is at the location 0, oranges is at the location 1, so on and so forth. Grapes is at 2. Right, so we should get the output oranges, right? So let's run that and see what happens. Let's save this. Let's go to our code. Oh, sorry. Let's go to our code. Let's clear this. Let's run that. And you can see, always observe the last output, right? There we go. You can see oranges is the output which comes. Right, now let's change this one. If I give 0, can you quickly put it in the chat window? What will be the output? Don't take more than 1 minute, okay? Maybe 30 seconds. What will be the output if I put 0? What will be printed on the screen? Okay, some people's correctly putting, right? Moderation. Okay, correct answer. Only one student have sent me the answer. Others, you can switch on the mic and speak also. Dilan Kalhara, correct, Puda? Yes. Next. Only 2 people know the answer. Only 2 people know the answer. 35 students are there in the class. What is the answer? What will be the output if I put 0 there?
Sir.
Yes, Dushantan.
Sir, I get only the first output only.
Yes, you should
Print
get the first
number.
output. I'm asking what is the output?
Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but did you check my line number 17? 17 is, we are referring not to the numbers array, we are referring to the fruits list. So in the fruits list,
but I get one output only, sir. I
okay.
type.
Yeah, you are practicing on a computer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy and paste your code into the chat window. I will check. Right. Many people are correctly answering. Here we should get the answer as apples, because apples is at the location 0. Yeah. So we say Python demo. Sorry. Wait, there we go. It gives the apples. All right. Now watch this. I will print one more thing. You give when you give name of the list, and if you give the subscripts in minus values, what it does is it starts to print the values from the last element. When you say -1, it will display the last element, right? So let's try whether we can print the value pairs in the screen. Did you notice that? So it is printing pairs. So if I give -2, which is grapes, right? So we should get the value grapes. Likewise, okay? So you can use positive values as well as negative values to that, right? Guys, tell me, I will put like this. So that will be making sense to you when you check my coding, right? Okay. Because I'm going to share the code with you before the class finishes, right? Exactly at 7:30, I will stop the class and I'll give you about 5 minutes break for your prayers. And 7:35, I'll start the video editing class. Okay, right. All right, guys and girls, let's move on to the next part. So that's how you pick one value from the list, right? Next one, we will see how to check the length of the array or the list. I keep on saying the word array. list. So which will tell you how many elements are there in the list. So we put say get the length of a list. With put a command, I'll say size. Okay, right. So let's see how we can do that. Very simple. I think I taught you this function with strings as well. We just type print, and you can type len. Len stands for length, open parentheses, and you give the name of your list. So this time let's give numbers. So that is your name of the list. And in a list, how many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should get the output. We should get the output here as 5, right? So we should get the output as 5. Let's run and see whether we can get 5. So I am running like that. There we go. Dushantan, I think you haven't defined the fruits array. I want to see how you have coded this part. I want to see this piece of code also in your one. You don't have to type it, just copy paste the code. I will check. Copy and paste the entire code and I'll check, right? Okay, right, guys and girls, just watch. You use the word len, which is length, short form for length, and you give the name of the list, and it will tell how many items are there in the list. All right, okay. So that is how you check the size of a list. The next one is how you can remove an item, or I'm sorry, not removing an item. Let's say we add an item to the list. Actually, we're going to append an item. Okay, append in the sense it will go and add it to the bottom, very bottom. Okay, we can add an item to the very bottom of the list. So which is called the appending. So let's see how we can do that. So I will put the comment. So you'll see append to the list, append to the list. Let's say we want to put mangoes to the fruits list. So we say fruits dot append, fruits dot append, and you open parentheses. Simply you give the values, right? So we'll say mangoes. Okay, mangoes. Now I like to print and show you what is the output. So let's say print, and we'll say fruits like that. So we should get the details, all the values along with the mangoes as well. Now, if you go here and check apples, oranges, grapes, and pears, these are the 4 fruits which are available in the fruits list. Now, I am asking the computer to append. Append means add a new one to the list. Okay. Dushantan, that is a bit strange. Let me check and let you know. Okay. Synthetically, it is correct. That's strange. Dushantan, can you comment print numbers, comma type numbers? Those two coding lines, comment it and leave only print fruits one part and try compiling and try running and see whether it is working.
Okay.
Try that. Okay, it's not a big issue. We can fix it later, right? So, right. Wait, let's try. Pending, I did. Now I'm going to run the code and see. Let's see what's going to happen. Did you notice that you can see to the fruits list after pears we have added a new item which is mangoes. Now if I check the size of the fruits list which is using the length function, I will get not 5, I will get 6 now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, sorry, 5 I will get now. Okay, that is how you can add an item or append an item to the list, right? Let's see how we can remove an item from the list now. Remove from list, right? Let's see how we can remove something, right? So we're going to say fruits dot remove, okay? Fruits remove. You simply tell what item to be removed. Now I will get an error. Watch this, grapes. If you check in my list, fruits list, you can see grapes is written G capital. I'm trying to remove G simple, okay? This should result in an error or it will simply skip that, right? Let's run this and see. Anyways, we will print once more, right? After that, we will print the fruits list and see whether grapes is gone, right? So let's try compiling it. As I correctly told you, there is an error coming. You can see. Let's try to understand the error here. It's displayed all the details and it got an error here. Trace back. And what is the error? Value error. List dot remove. X is the item. List dot remove. That is what we are trying. Okay. Fruits dot remove. We are trying X. X is not in list. Actually, X is the value that we are referring, which is X, which is grapes. It's not in the list. If it is not there, it cannot remove it. That is what the error comes, right? So what we should do is we put syntax correctly. The correct syntax let's put, which means capital symbols. I will correctly put that. Now what will happen is now we will be able to remove it, right? Let's come now. Let's say you can see this line after appending mangoes, we are printing fruits in line number 25. That is what this output comes. So you can see oranges, grapes, pears, and mangoes. Everything is there where you see 5 items in the fruits list. In line number 28, I'm asking the computer fruits.remove grapes. I'm asking the computer to remove grapes from the list. Then in line number 29, again, we are printing the details or contents of the list. When you do that, you can see no longer grapes is there in the list. It is gone forever. That means permanently it has got erased from the list. All right. I hope you got the idea. So we can add an item, which is appending, and we can remove an item, but make sure it is case sensitive. Right. Next one, we're going to learn what if now the list that we have now is having apples, oranges, let's say pears and mangoes. Let's say I want to insert, not append, I want to insert strawberries right after pears. Okay, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so 0, 1, 2. I'm going to insert something. So when I insert pears here, so 0, 1, 2 is going to be pears. So I'm sorry, strawberries. Then pears and mangoes going to get pushed down in the list, right? So I'm going to do that and show you. Okay, let me put the comment first. Insert into position. So let's see how we can do that, right? Let's say fruits dot insert, right? Insert. Then what we do, insert. We first of all tell what is the position I want to insert to. I want to add it to the position 2, right? Then leave a space. Then you give the value what you want to add. I like to add strawberries, right? I want to add strawberries. So that's done, right? Again, we'll say print fruits. Print fruits. Right. So when you do this, what happens is we should be able to see now again 5 items. But remember, grapes is no longer there. Let's see what we have in the list again, right? Okay, I'll clear this list. Right, now watch this. Look at the very last line. You can see apples, oranges, then we have strawberries, right? We have the strawberries inserted to the exact location 0, 1, 2. And you can see remaining items in the list they have got pushed down. They have got pushed down. So pears have gone to the location 3 and mangoes have gone to the location 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. I hope you understand that. I'm explaining very slow and very clearly. I'm speaking. I hope you can understand this. Students, I'll get a small feedback from you. 38 students are there. Can you please raise your hands if you understood up to this level? I hope you understood this. Yeah. Only one student. Okay, few people have understood, right? If you have doubts, it's time for you to talk to me. Okay, almost right, 7, 8. Right.
Sir, the same code in ideally.
Sudha?
I run the same code in ideally.
Oh, and
Then
is
it,
it
it's
working, Dushantan?
okay. It's working, sir. I think
All right.
some problem.
Something wrong maybe with the this one. What do you call Visual Studio? But you can get it fixed. Try updating it. And Dushantan, when I was watching a video tutorial, one person was have installed something called auto code formatting, right? There can be some plugins get installed. So what it does is now he's typing a kind of a code. By the time you are saving it, it is auto formatting it. And when he wants to demonstrate something, that is not what there is, right? There could be some issues could be there, but I'm happy that you can at least run that in IDLE. But anyways, it's not a must that you should do it in VS Code, but get it work on VS Code. It is very convenient. Okay, Dushantan, let's proceed then. All right. Okay, all of you, can you please put your hands down? And thank you very much for your feedback. And can I? Yeah. Let's move on, right? So we learned how to append, how to remove, how to insert an item to a place. Well, we'll see how we can do another one. Remove with pop method. Okay, there's a popular function called pop. Popping means uh, taking the top item out, and taking an item usually out is known as popping, right? Okay, right. So let's do it now. Even if we have a balloon, and breaking a balloon is also known as popping a balloon, breaking it, right? So removing it. Let's try how to do that. Okay. So remove with pop method of function. Okay. And we use the position as well. I'm trying to get the notes inside the source code itself. So when you're looking at the source code, my Python code, what we are doing and why this code is written, it's very clear to you. Okay, let's do it. We give the names of the array, fruits array. Then we use the function or the method, which is pop, and we just mention the location. So 2, right? Now you can see the output here, 0, 1, 2. Recently, we added strawberries to the list. Now we are popping strawberries actually. We are removing strawberries from the list. We are removing strawberries from the list. Let's print it and see. Right. Now let's run that and see. Okay, let's run that. Okay, we can see the 2 lines here, and you can see strawberries no longer available in the list, and which has gone, right? Okay, let's try something. You try to give something which is not in the list. That means you are trying to delete the 21st item in the list. 21st item in the list. It should result in an error. Let's see whether it can pop that item. Well, it results in an error, index error, because there is no such item called the 21st item. Pop index out of range. That's the correct error message, because there is no such element, right? So that's what the error comes, right? So index has to be inside the range, right? Okay, let's try again trying that. Okay, so strawberries are getting removed from the list. Well, after that, let's see what we got next. We got remove with pop method function. Right, that's we did. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's see whether we can reverse let's say whether we can reverse a list. Okay, so how to reverse a list? So reverse, okay, reverse the list. Which means you can see the items are there like this: apples, oranges, pears, mangoes. And I want to put this in the other order. That means first item should be mangoes, second item should be pears, third item should be oranges, and fourth item should be apple. I want to put them in descending order, which means I want to reverse it, right? So you don't have to write any algorithm, so you don't have to write any complex code. With a simple method, we can do this, right? Let's try doing it. Fruits dot, simply say reverse. That's it. Fruits dot reverse. Then we need to print it and see. Okay, nice. So when you run that, you can see in line number 37, we are printing. That is what the output that you see at the moment now. And in line number 41, we are again going to print. You will see both outputs now. Right, let me save this one. Let's go to the code. Let's run. There is an error. Yeah, there is a spelling mistake here. Reverse. Okay. There we go. I hope these two lines, if you observe closely, you can see the difference. Before reversing the array, the original, I'm keep on saying array, I'm sorry, it is list. Before reversing the list, it looks like this. And after reversing the list, it looks like this. Okay. I hope there is no questions about it, right? Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. Then let's see whether we can sort it. Okay, we can sort them in ascending order. Whether we can sort them in ascending order, right? Okay. So this will be useful for numbers and other things as well. But for the text one also, I'll show you how to do it. Let's say sort the lists. Okay. I hope all of you know how to sort it, right? Okay. Very simple. You write fruits dot sort, right? So this will, by default, it will sort in ascending order. That means small values to the large value, it will automatically sort, right? Okay, let's print that and see. You should understand in line number 40, we are reversing it, right? So apples are at the last. Okay, right. Now we'll try to put that in alphabet order, which is sorting in line number 44. Doesn't matter in what order we have, it will correctly put it in correct order, right? Let's try that. We can see apples, mangoes, oranges, and pear. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? So it's correctly coming according to alphabet order, right? Now watch this. I'll put something like this for you, right? Let's say numbers 3. I will create a list for you, right? Let's put some random numbers, 75, 15, 25, 80, 95, and we'll put 250. Then let's put another value like 10. Okay, now you can see obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items there. None of them are in a orderly manner. Okay. Now I'm going to print that, then print numbers. Okay, I should put this on numbers 3. Numbers 3. Right, numbers 3, right? Let me run and show you. There you go. There is the list just getting displayed. Next one we're going to do is we're going to say numbers 3 dot sort. That's it. So it's going to put the smallest value at the beginning and largest value at the end, and we will print it again. Right. So we'll see how it works. Spelling mistakes. I'm sorry. Numbers. Right. I executed the long program. Python demo 6. Okay. Guys and girls, please watch this. You can see this is the unsorted list. Numbers are randomly there. And after sorting, you can see they are in small value to the large value. Okay. Now the same list, if I want, I can put it in reverse order, which means I can put the largest value at the beginning and smallest value at the end part also I can do. I will demonstrate that one with the fruits first. I can do it with the numbers itself. It will be more meaningful for you, which is very simple. If you want to put it, I want to show that one with another one. Reverse sort, that is called the reverse sort. It's very simple. What you do is, when you want to reverse it, let's say numbers 3 dot, you say sort, okay, same function, but you use the word here reverse and you give the value true. Okay, when you say reverse true, this will be sort. So descending order, right? So which means Z to A. That's the order. Okay. Right. So that's what will happen, right? So let's try that one and see. Let's run that and see. Look at the very last example, 250, 95, 80, 75, 25, 15, 10. So this is the unsorted array. I'm sorry, it's unsorted list. This is sorted list, smallest to the largest one. And this is reverse sorted list, which is largest to the smallest one. Okay. So those are the main functions that we did. And one more function is there. With that one, we will conclude about the lists. I gave you a full picture about the lists. I hope you found the session very useful, right? Let me do the very last one, which is, let's say, how we can change a value, which means, for example, in the fruits list, the second item, mangoes are there. Let's say instead of mangoes, you want to put papaya. So if you want to put papaya here or bananas here, which we can do that, right? So that is how you do that part, changing a value, right? So let's see how we can do that. This is pretty simple. For your reference, just take a look at the fruits array. This is the fruits array. Fruits list, I'm sorry. Right, let's try that. So we say fruits and we give the location, which one you want to change. Let's say we'll get rid of the apples. Okay, so when you give 0, 0, 0, which is the very first item. 0 means the very first item, which is apples, by the way, in your fruits list, first item, which is apples. And if you give a new value here, let's say blueberries. Say blueberries. If you give blueberries, apples going to get replaced with, or it's going to change to blueberries. No longer apples value will be there. Okay, now when I print it, we'll put fruits, right? Let's save that and run. There you go. There you go. So apple have got replaced with blueberries. Earlier we have apples. Here we have got it replaced with blueberries. Hope you understand that. Yeah. So those were the functions that I wanted to teach you about the list. I hope you got a full fledged idea about lists, and we should understand a list is a collection which is ordered and changeable. Values we can change. Now we did that one. In other lessons like sets, dictionaries, and tuples and all, if you take, certain ones are there, you cannot change them, and certain ones will not allow you to have duplicates. Okay. Now I didn't show you how to put a duplicate there. For example, let's say I want to add, grapes is already there. Grapes is already there. And you want to add fruits dot, let's say, append. append. Let's say you want to add grapes. Okay. You're going to add grapes, which will allow you to do that. No, in this one, we don't have, yeah, here we don't have grapes. So let's add mangoes, right? Mangoes. Let's try. You can see mangoes once, mangoes twice. So you should understand lists are allowing you to have duplicates. Okay. So that is the characteristics of the lists, right? Okay. So that's the basic idea, guys and girls. So I will share that file with you, right? I will share the file with you and I will make a PDF just like that. I think last week PDF you got it. And this Python file I'll give you. While after I put this to the chat window, you can put out of 10, how much did you understand, right? And with that one, we will wind up, do your prayers and come for the video editing class, right? So I'll add the file for you. Python tests. Well, today's lesson is demo 6. It is just a 101.2 KB file. I just added it. Okay, now you can download the file, and after that you can sign out from the session. And please put out of 10, how much did you understand? So I know that, right? I'm also going to go for my prayers, right? Okay, then students, be safe. God bless you all. See you in the next session. Okay, thank you very much. I will leave the meeting, otherwise you won't be able to download it, right? One person will be randomly getting assigned as the admin. I will